Hello, as promised, Serena Marvel again, day 2. Um, it's been a good day. Definitely one of those days that I wish happened a lot of the time. As far as transition goes, not much has changed, but I do think every day is a process. Every day is a step in the journey in the right direction. Um, I could say from last night, mentally, I am a bit more in a better mood. I did seem to think my mood was more balanced today than it was yesterday. So there is definitely a difference, a day between day, and how my mood is. I seem to switch between moods more rapidly, but it's more controlled, if that makes any sense. Um, so that's good news. The reason I'm doing this, as I said, is to give you a day in and day out look of what transitioning looks like. So you can see day by day what you can expect, what you can experience. I think an accurate portrayal of what transition is important to the community, and definitely since the election of Donald Trump is something that needs to be done because an accurate face of transition needs to be told. So I mean, I don't have anything against about other transgender YouTubers. You do you, you do your thing. My thing is showing you what it looks like day in and day out. So as I said yesterday, I'm going to recap some of the first things you'll see are your skin will get smoother. Your moods will definitely be more balanced. Something I have noticed, I have more motivation since I've taken my hormones than I had before I started hormones. Now, I don't know if that's related to hormones. If I had to theorize, I think that is more related to the fact that I am definitely happier with my hormones since I started taking it. I'm even more happier that my hair is long. I've always wanted long hair, so it's always good news. Um, as far as what you can do when you transition, there's a lot of things you can do. You can start shopping finally, putting together who you are. But there is some guidelines I like to go over. The hospital has their own standards of care. Your psychologist will have their own standards of care. But I do think that each person that transitions needs to have their standards. For example, I believe every transgender person needs to rediscover themselves why they are transitioning. Here's why this is important. A lot of people fall into the trap while they're transitioning that they have to be overly feminine, overly girly. But I think part of it gets lost that transitioning overall is about being who you are. For example, natural cisgendered women, you don't see every cisgendered female being super girly. There's tomboys, there's butch women, there's a lot of different types of women. So why would every trans person need to be overly feminine? You see what I'm saying? By becoming that stereotype or willingly living that stereotype, you're projecting a stereotype that people for a long time have fought to erase. And that fight cannot be forgotten, I'd like to say. Our right to transition cannot be forgotten. Our right to become who we felt we are for a long period of time cannot be forgotten. We've fought, we've struggled along the way, both mentally and literally, to get to this point. So I think it's important, as I said before, to discover yourself. Who are you as a female, if you are male to female, or who are you as a man if you're female to male? To rediscover yourself, because at least with me, what I do know is that when you are looking towards transition, there might be some stuff about yourself that you don't want to admit. Like half of your persona before you transitioned was created as a means of survival, to fit in and to not be detected. So I think it is important to root out those aspects of who you are as you're taking your hormones, because you never know who you are. You really don't know who you are until you transition. And I think a lot of that gets worked out after you're on the pills. Now, style. You do definitely have to come off as female when you're transitioning. That's a must. Facially, thankfully I have a lot of soft features. Genetically, most of my family do. You can definitely tell there's feminine features in my family. So I did get lucky on that aspect. There's parts of your personality that you're gonna have to change, especially if they're a problem. For example, if you are somebody that is prone to addiction, or addiction is something within your family, you definitely need to conquer that, tackle that, talk to your therapist about it, about your family's history of addiction, talk to a doctor about it. How could that play into your transition? Could you become addicted? What things should you avoid when you're transitioning? Like I said before, I do recommend every transgendered person stay away from alcohol, not only because it can counteract your hormones or make your transition slower, but at the same time, becoming addicted to any substance is definitely something that is to be avoided. So, and if you ever get the argument that taking hormones is like a drug, just ignore that, because a lot of the people that would make that argument have not experienced or lived through some of the things that we've been through. They have not felt the shame, the humiliation, and the ignorance that we have felt on a daily basis. So, as somebody with PTSD and an eating disorder, I definitely understand where some of you are at right now. That you don't think anybody's in your corner, that you don't think you have a lot of support, but you have support, even if it's just me. And that's why I'm making these videos. I hope that eventually somebody sees them when they need them, and it's used for good. That's my hope. As far as transitioning, who am I as more of a female? Before I started taking my hormones, I definitely think I was like a hardcore gamer. And I did that because games were my escape for reality. I could be who I wanted in a video game. I could shape my persona with a video game. Same with acting. I could be another person. So gaming came naturally to me. I also did a lot of theater, as I said. I did a lot of debate. That was my thing. I was actually captain of my debate team, by the way. And it was fun because I could be somebody else. I could for 1 minute put myself in somebody else's shoes. And I didn't have to be myself. Now, I think I'm not like super girly, but I'm definitely feminine as how I present myself, how I come off. You know, that's why I straighten my hair. That's why I straighten my hair. I'm experimenting with makeup, and when I get far, I get good, I will show you guys. It's definitely hard. Makeup is definitely hard. Even though I did theater, I do say theater makeup is different than everyday makeup. So it's definitely a trick to learn how to do makeup. So that's something I do think that when you even think about transitioning, you should start experimenting with is makeup. Along with how you're going to dress, how you're going to present yourself, who you are going to be. That's all a part of that self-discovery. So I do think the most important step in transitioning is self-discovery. You have to know who you are. You have to know who you're going to be. And you have to know which parts of yourself were created as a mask to survive. Anyways, I love you guys. And I like that I can make these videos and show you day in and day out what transitioning looks like. Because it's important to me that y'all get a good look at it. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Continue to keep on trucking. Make every day that you live worth it. Peace.